Aloha and mele kaliki maka. Merry Christmas and happy hoop holidays from Honolulu, Hawaii, and the Iolani Prep Basketball Classic presented by Hawaii Pacific Health. This is the fourth and final game of the opening night of the 2023 tournament, and it will pit the St. Louis Crusaders against the St. John Bosco Braves. Hello everybody, I'm John Tamanaha along with Coach Dean Shimamoto. And Coach Dean, there's been some excitement here in the gym. It's been building, but it's just the first of 5 days. 4 more games tomorrow, 8 games on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Come on down and see some terrific basketball. We've already seen 3 games.
Yeah, I'm excited just for today to have started. We did the first game together at 3 o'clock. There's been 2 games in between. And here's the last one tonight. And this is the top-rated team coming into this Iolani Classic. So I'm excited to see what they look like in person. They have stars up and down the roster, commits to different places. And this St. John Bosco team should be the exciting one to watch against one of Hawaii's best. And that's the more exciting part for me as a former Iolani basketball coach who coached against teams like St. Louis. And we know how difficult it is to go out and win a state championship. And they were able to not just win 1, but 2 back-to-back. And so it's neat to see the best of Hawaii go up against the best from across the country.
Certainly is. St. Louis, 2-time defending HHSAA state champions, also won their league, the Interscholastic League of Honolulu, which is, I would say, equally hard to do. Against the St. John Bosco Braves, last year they played for the CIF Open Division Championship, made it to the final for the first time in school history. I spent 22 years living in Southern California. To win a CIF championship, to win a Southern Section championship, to play for the state championship, that is saying a lot. This team is ranked 2nd in the state of California currently, 9th in the nation, according to 24/7, 22nd in the nation by ESPN SC Next Top 25. St. Louis Crusaders ranked 2nd by the Honolulu Star Advertiser.
But they're the defending champions 2 times.
Absolutely.
And return nearly the entire roster from last year. So as far as I'm concerned, the reigning defending 2-time champions that haven't lost much from a year ago, I'm considering them #1 until they get beat in a regular season game.
Some of our fans watching here locally might hear the name St. John Bosco and automatically think football.
And St. Louis.
Yeah. And I wouldn't blame them. St. John Bosco came here, the defending national champions. They played up in Laie against Kahuku. The Kahuku Red Raiders beat them 30-23. St. John Bosco lost only 1 other game last season in football. That was the Mater Dei, the CIF Southern Section Championship game. But like you said, Coach, 2 all-boys schools, 2 football powerhouses, meeting here in Honolulu on the hardwood. Can't wait. St. Louis, for those of you on the mainland, you might have heard of St. Louis, Honolulu. You might have heard of Tua Tagovailoa. You might have heard of Marcus Mariota. The list goes on and on. But a very proud tradition up the street, not too far away from this very gym that we're at, up at Kalai Pohaku. And we're gonna get set for the gift exchange and the starting lineup. So we'll turn it over to public address announcer Rudy Tulangari. Thank you, Rudy. Getting set for this one, St. Louis versus St. John Bosco. The winner will play the host Iolani Raiders. The Raiders defeated the Kauai Red Raiders earlier today, 78-46. In the first game of the day, it was the Pace Academy Knights defeating Kamehameha-Maui, 78-27. And then in the game that we just saw, Christ the King defeated Kamehameha-Kapalama, 68-31. Pupu Sepulona to jump center against Brandon McCoy Jr. The Braves win it. St. John Bosco in the navy blue, St. Louis in the white. Harrington whistle 10 seconds into the game. Foul called on Sepulona.
Sepulona has a tough job ahead of him trying to guard LZ Harrington, shifty point guard, great with the ball.
Jack Turner with the miss on the three, but Brandon McCoy with the slam follow.
Just a glimpse of why he's so highly touted. Put the trampoline right under the basket.
Oh, wow. Keanu Meacham ties it up at the other end.
Beautiful finish by Meacham. Got out wide, high off the glass.
It's Cade Bonham fouled going up. 6'6" junior will go to the line.
We'll see Cade Bonham do a whole bunch of work down low today. He's a big body, aggressive to the boards. Uses his size and his strength really well on the inside, draws fouls, gets finishes. He's gonna be a load under the block.
Bonham hits both free throws. He comes in leading the team with 18.3 points per game. Coach Dan Hale calling a 30-second timeout. That trap in the corner.
Not something you want to see. You know the trap's coming. Shanton Revelto caught it in that deep corner. Really have no chance from there, no place to go. You have the out of bounds blocking you on two sides and two large, long players blocking you in front of you. And Shanson Revelto, the heady player that he is, tried to throw it off a foot, was able to earn that kick. So St. Louis retains possession, but in this early part of the preseason, a team like St. Louis, who has state championship aspirations, they need to know how to break a press. And it doesn't matter who it's against, but they need to do a better job of that.
4-2, Braves over Crusaders. Revelto gets it into Meacham. Over to Sepalona. Pupu working against Perfetti. Pupu with it again. Pulls his way inside, kicks it out. Meacham back into Posiulai. And Jordan gets fouled going up.
Talked about Bonham just a second ago. On the flip side, we have Jordan Posiulai, who uses his body extremely well, working in size, undersized against mainland competition, but fairly big against the Hawaii team, against the Hawaii opponents. And you'll see him quite a bit. Get in there, use his body, put a shoulder to a chest, find a way to make contact and either finish through or work his way to the line, as you see here.
Jordan, a 6'3" senior post player, makes 1 of 2. Bosco with it. Up a point. Just over a minute played here. Lob. And McCoy. Second slam, second bucket.
Trampoline's still down there. No one moved it.
6'4" sophomore. The number 2 ranked sophomore in this country of ours. Rebound Harrington. He's on the run. That was misplayed. Double dribble, out of bounds. Ball to the Crusaders.
Braves will look to run out every chance they get. You see the athleticism in their guards, the ability to push, the ability to finish. Why not get out in transition and find some lanes?
Nice crowd here at the Father Bay Athletic Center, lower gym. Posiulai spins into a double team. No basket.
Pupu Sepalona has a tremendous knack of drawing contact, finding ways to keep his balance with that body control and finish strong with that left hand. That spin move has been deadly for multiple years, and it's still effective against any opponent.
That was the second personal foul called on Cade Bonham, so he will take a seat. Jason Joyce into the game to replace him. Sepalona for 3. Pupu hit 26 of those last year, while averaging 18.3 points per game. This is Turner. Gets into trouble, traveling.
Crusaders doing a nice job of trapping up top, sitting in the zone, finding an opportunity, closing that trap, walling up most importantly, not fouling, not reaching, drawing the turnover off the travel.
All tied up at 6. Braves and Crusaders. Inside to Sepalona, turns off the glass. Pupu's got 5. Last year he scored 27 points against Montverde, including 3 3-pointers. Crusaders with the lead and the ball. Revelto. He gives it to Ramos with the reverse layup. Giovanni.
Beautiful backdoor cut. Great find by Revelto. You'll see him be the initiator for this St. Louis offense. He'll take care of the ball against the press, dribble it up, find the open man, and when he has to, he'll find ways to score as well. But he was such a big piece for that team last year that went on to the state championship.
Harrington looking for a teammate. Finds Turner. Turner for 3. Knocked out of bounds. Off a Brave.
Meacham getting a hand in there, finding a way just to battle. He's given up a few inches in height and a bit in athleticism, but that scrappiness earned them that rebound.
Shanson Revelto gets it across the timeline. Posiulai Pass it to the corner, rotate it to Revelto. Rebound Harrington. Elsie Harrington, 6'5" junior. The dribble drive. Knocked out and into the hands of Revelto. Playing with the 35-second shot clock here in the Classic. It's down to 27. Ramos. Entry pass. Back out to Revelto. Cepalona. 13 on the shot clock. Doesn't use the pick. 14-foot jumper.
One-legged spinning jumper a la Dirk Nowitzki. You usually see him go right turn, spin to his left. That time went the opposite way.
Joyce with the reverse.
Good find, good action by Bosco, seeing the moving cutter. So difficult to guard one-on-one. You need to bring help, but you can't get caught staring, or that's what you'll have on the backside.
Lob inside to Posiulai. He's surrounded by 3 Braves. They knock it out of bounds. Stone Kanoa and Jordan Nanuha into the game for the St. Louis Crusaders.
Players coming off the bench for the Crusaders, so important. Against a team as athletic as Bosco, you cannot afford to leave your guys in for too long. They just expend so much energy defending and grabbing rebounds and banging bodies against these types of athletes.
Chris Coleman into the game for Bosco, got that rebound. Hanging in the air, but missing was Meadows. Ball bounces into the hands of Pupu Cepalona. Shanson Revelto will slow it down. Crusaders with a 2-point lead, just under 3 minutes to go here, first quarter. Pupu Cepalona, 3 off the front. Brandon McCoy Jr. with the left hand.
Letting this team get out in transition. These one-on-ones or even one-on-twos in a lot of cases just end up to be easy buckets. Able to change direction off of the Euro step without any dribbles. So difficult to stay in front.
Cepalona being guarded by McCoy. Loses the handle, gets it back and gets it off the glass for 2.
Fans of Hawaii basketball have seen that happen over and over and over. The ability to make contact, hang in the air, extend with that left hand, and find a way to get it to go off of the glass. It catches a lot of these mainland teams off guard because he's an undersized guy, 6'2", wide, but uses his body so well. Soft touch on the finish, great body control. He always seems to get it to go and ends up on the ground more than anyone else.
62% foul shooter last year, all net there. Cepalona's got 8. The Crusaders lead this by 5. Time to send that link to your friends. It's a good basketball game here. Jack Turner to the rim. Crusaders up 13-10, under 2 minutes to go now. Lob underneath, bounces out, heartbreak for Corey Bailey. Turner attacks, floats, rolls out. Nanuha with the rebound.
St. Louis doing such a good job of staying in front, even in transition when they have the chance, and then cleaning up those boards. It hasn't always been easy, but they found a way to scrap for it, knock it back out, but keep that possession, not give the Braves a second chance.
Bailey, nice feed inside. Nanuha, shot off the back of the rim. So quickly into the attacking zone. Now McCoy. Now he'll back out. Wow. That change of direction all the way to the rack. Brandon McCoy Jr. 8 points.
quick steal there by Meadows. Got another 2 points. Can't give up the easy ones.
Braves now retake the lead, and now they retake possession of the ball.
There's Meadows again off the bench, being disruptive. Active hands, knocked that ball away. Got the steal on the previous possession, the steal in the quick two, right after the McCoy bucket, then comes back down, guarding Sepulona, pops it out of his hand, retains possession. It was just a 13-10 score. Crusaders extended the lead to 3. Now they're down by 1. What an impact for Meadows.
Turner works off the screen, gets it to Harrington. Harrington with the drive. Foul on the floor. 25.8 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Pretty fortunate to pick up that foul. Harrington was going to the hole. It looked like he had a clear lane, even though he had to split a couple guys, but he was getting to that rim and able to finish. He still has to earn it, but not a bad option to pick up that foul.
Harrington hits the first, comes in averaging 14 points per game, 7.3 assists, 4.6 rebounds, 2.6 steals. Throw in a block a game, shooting 42% from 3, coach. This LZ Harrington, 6'5", junior point guard.
One of the top juniors in the country for good reason. The stats match up with the expectation.
Trapped in the corner. Coming out of that, Kalen Fernando did a good job, and he also drew the foul from Jack Turner.
Nifty ball handling by Fernando, found his way into the trap and dribbled his way right out of it without turning the ball over. Again, important to retain this possession, get the last shot off, not give Bosco another chance to come back and score and extend this lead.
Shot clock is off, 15 seconds on the game clock. Fernando. Post the U-line, rotate the ball to Nanuha. Back to Jordan. Shot from the corner is short from Revelto. And that's the way it'll end after the first period of play. St. John Bosco Braves 16, the St. Louis Crusaders 13. Let's take a quick break.
Here's the dream. Never stop doing what you love. The choices you make now can keep the dream alive tomorrow. So you can live your life your way. We're here to help with a personalized approach to a healthier you. This is me. Hawaii Pacific Health.
16-13, St. John Bosco out in front of St. Louis. The St. Louis Crusaders have been here before, Coach. It was just a year ago. They lined up against Montverde Academy, who had the #1 sophomore in the country, Cooper Flagg, and the rest of a constellation of stars. Montverde. Sepulona, as I mentioned earlier, had a tremendous game, 27 points. Had this place jumping. He hit 3 threes. Keep in mind, too, Sepulona was a sophomore then. He's just a junior, one of the top players in the state. But the Crusaders were here before, and they, that was a good first quarter for them.
No, they've been in this position. They're seasoned. They're state champions back-to-back for good reason. Sepulona, one of the players of the year last year. Again, for good reason. Had an absolutely magical night against Montverde. And this was not just in rubbish time where he was scoring. Any which one of their guys are Division I commits were trying to stop him. There was no, let's give him these.
And you could see it on their face. There's a little bit of frustration. It's like, how is this guy doing this to us? At 6'2", a sophomore. Maybe he was 6'1" then.
He's been 6'2", I think, since he's in 6th grade. Yeah. So he knows how his body works. He's an even better athlete now than he was before. Saw him in warm-ups, throwing it off the backboard, getting dunks with 2 hands. He wasn't able to do that in the past. He's extended his range, so still just a junior, but exciting future and an already exciting past with multiple championships.
Yeah. Brandon McCoy Jr. with it. drives. Big hop in the lane and hits. Brandon McCoy Jr. is already into double figures.
The efficiency that he plays with, finds his way to the rim easily, yet able to knock down that jumper. I'm sure we'll see his range later on tonight.
McCoy's offers, we don't need to kind of go over the list of colleges. If there are big name colleges, they have offers.
He'll have his choice. That list won't end.
Whoa.
Not at all.
Sepulona in the corner. Nice bounce pass, but a block by Brandon McCoy. Oh my.
You cannot take anything for granted when McCoy's patrolling the area. It looks open for a second and the door closes just as quickly.
Fetty with the extra step.
St. Louis Crusaders giving up inches, height, when you look down the roster. There's more size on the Bosco side. But they are holding their own on the inside. You'll see most of the opportunities coming from the outside unless there's a transition push where Harrington or McCoy can split and Euro their way to the rim. But for the most part, if St. Louis can afford to keep these teams outside and grab a rebound, defensively, they're not at a huge disadvantage.
Meacham working against McCoy. Sepulona. Three-point country. Here comes Meadows. Turner. McCoy slashing through the lane off the glass.
There he is again. 2 dribbles in the paint, almost as if no one was playing defense. That's how easy he makes it look.
Sepulona, the other end. He's in double figures.
Crafty ball handling. Got by Harrington. Finishes at the rim.
Harrington 3 falls short, but Amiri Meadows is there for the putback.
Not such a bad option for the St. Louis Crusaders to force guys like Harrington and McCoy to take some shots from the outside.
Fernando got pushed by Meadows. So Brandon McCoy comes in averaging 17 points per game, 58% field goal shooting. I don't know, what is he today? 100% maybe for his 12 points.
Outside of that one jumper, he's 3 feet from the basket uncontested, so I'm expecting high percentages from him.
Crusaders trail it by 7 here. Meacham with the reverse. Keanu Meacham, 5'11" sophomore. He's on the varsity last year, averaged 6 points per game.
Meacham got valuable minutes last year in that run to the state championship. So even though he's just a sophomore, it almost feels like he's a wily veteran.
Harrington with a lob to Bonham. He's back in the game with his 2 personal fouls. Cade Bonham.
That's what Bosco has been missing on the inside, offensively and defensively, guarding the St. Louis Bigs.
Stolen away by Coleman, up ahead to Turner. And just like that, the Bosco Braves lead at 26-17. And Coach Dan Hale wants to talk about it, calls a full timeout. St. Louis coach Dan Hale in his 5th season with the Crusaders. He's won a couple state titles in the past 2 years, that's all. And he also won state titles as a player at Punahou School. Our friends on the mainland might recognize the name Punahou School. Maybe because of Barack Obama, who's a graduate of Punahou School right here in Honolulu. And guess what? Dan Hale played with Barack Obama. They're both class of 81. State champion basketball teams.
Dan Hill was also a state champion coach
Yep.
at Punahou as well.
His third state championship as a coach. He also played water polo, track and field.
Quite an athlete. Quite an athlete.
I remember watching him at the University of Hawaii men's basketball games. We'd always cheer for the local guys. Coach Michael Mong, who you heard call the previous 2 games, was one of those types of athletes, played for UH. Kaylin Fernando with the home run, catch and score.
I'm calling that a touchdown, John.
Yeah.
I went
with
that.
baseball, you went with football. You're
Again,
better.
the St. Louis Crusader Bosco matchup just begs for that.
You're right. Turn the ball over to the St. Louis. This is Fernando in the backcourt working against Coleman.
Really like what I've seen out of Fernando. Secondary ball handler, came off the bench. Shanson Revelto generally has these responsibilities, but for Fernando to come in and be able to handle it, work his way out of the trap, bring it up, a lot of relief for Revelto, who expends so much energy offensively.
Meacham dribbles out of the corner. Sepalona 10 on the shot clock. Meacham, long 3. Bonham with the rebound. Turner. Absorbed some contact there. Pass interception by Corey Bailey. Sepalona spins into the lane, but took an extra step.
Thought Shanson Revelto could have pulled that 3. He's a good shooter. Hasn't been able to get it to go early in this game, so wasn't quite feeling that stroke, feeling right. Not a bad option to have to be able to throw into Pupu Sepalona one-on-one, but in order to stretch out this defense, St. Louis is gonna have to hit a couple of 3s by someone other than Pupu Sepalona. Add some versatility. Force the defense to have to guard a couple of different options.
Wild lob does not connect. Corner 3 off the backboard. We got a whistle underneath, foul call.
Looked like on Stone Kanoa, got tangled up defensively under the board.
Stone checked in for Meacham the last time the ball was dead. Checking in right now is Giovanni Ramos, replacing Stone Kanoa.
St. John Bosco not looking so clean execution-wise offensively. Last couple passes, easy turnovers.
Bonham for 3. You could hear the net snap on that one.
That being said, beautiful flare screen for Bonham, something you're not expecting. Again, such a force on the inside, and they set a flare for him for a 3. You can see why with that finish.
Bailey's 3 off the mark. McCoy with the rebound. McCoy drives baseline. No call, all that contact with Sepalona underneath. Bailey calling for the lob. Oh, counted off the glass. We got a technical foul. Also being called on Bonham after that make. I guess he made the motion of strongman.
Yeah, phenomenal show of strength on the move.
Yeah.
But also the gesture, the flex, got him the call. Again, this is one of those games where you don't want it to get to be one of those types of games. Emotions always are high. Teams are competing. You don't want to get shown up. And again, Bonham understands. Maybe something that's not always called, but he understands what it is. Great move, great finish. Just keep it to himself.
So
But for him, a third foul.
Yeah. say. He got fouled, converted the old school three-point play, but picked up his third personal. That is why Sepalona is at the line, but he missed the first of two, and then the Crusaders will have the ball. That one rolls in for Pupu, gets St. Louis to 20, cuts the lead to 12. Just under 2 minutes to go until halftime. Sepalona loses the handle. Harrington up ahead to Meadows. Misses, but that man again, Brandon McCoy, there to clean it up.
You talk about someone that plays above the rim.
Yeah.
That is Brandon McCoy. Every time you look up, you see 0 and that hair floating right above the rim.
Ramos gets a shot blocked by guess who? Brandon McCoy Jr.
Another welcome to the Iolani Classic moment for players that have not gone against guys like this from the mainland. The shot was open. He was in the key. Covers so much ground, so much length.
St. Louis Crusaders down a couple touchdowns here. St. John Bosco looking to add. McCoy, he traveled there.
The craftiness of Shanson Revelto, read the Euro step. He's seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
Moved over, slid into the direction of McCoy. McCoy had to shuffle his feet to get back. Not something he expects. But great job defensively by Revelto.
I'm gonna need a shoe expert. I'm sure there's some of them in the gym to let me know what shoes, those Nikes that McCoy is wearing.
Those look like Kobe's, multicolored with some fancy name that I don't know.
Fabulous. Revelto misses and Bosco clears another rebound. Harrington with the drive. Ball rotated to McCoy. Drives right down the lane. Foul before he really got started. Stone Kanoa got him.
This is where the fatigue starts becoming evident. That much slower to rotate, that much slower to slide. More fouls are the result. When you go up against such great athleticism, a team like Bosco, players like Brandon McCoy and Harrington expend less energy per step. That's just how it works.
Keanu Meacham checked in for Stone Nakoa, who picked up his third personal foul moments ago. So foul troubles might become an issue for the Crusaders as well. 12 seconds to go here in the first half. McCoy, another one of those steps. Maybe drag that last foot.
One of those moves that may or may not have been a travel, but looked enough like one. The awkwardness results in the call, and sometimes that's enough.
Revelto, 3 seconds. Post Pupu Sepalona with the 3 as the buzzer sounds. So it's kind of a football score up there. St. John Bosco 34, St. Louis Crusaders 20 at the end of the first half. Let's take a break, hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be back for the second half.
Hey, Rox, come on look. The neighbors are up to something.
Probably taking out the trash.
No, they got guys roaming all around the place.
Maybe they're aliens from another planet.
Maybe they're getting rid of bugs and termites or something.
So what's so strange?
Well, our guys don't do that.
Maybe we don't have the right guys.
Hi, I'm Ian.
And I'm Joe.
And we're Pest Tech Hawaii. We have the latest termite and pest control technology. Let our guys be your guys. We're Pest Tech Hawaii.
Here's the dream. Never stop doing what you love. The choices you make now can keep the dream alive tomorrow. So you can live your life your way. We're here to help with a personalized approach to a healthier you. This is me. Hawaii Pacific Health.
Welcome back to the Father Bray Athletic Center, the lower gym on the campus of Iolani School in Honolulu, Hawaii. Shout out to all our friends watching in the Southern California area and all throughout the United States and worldwide on YouTube. Somebody who's not watching on YouTube, but somebody who's watching the game, I mentioned him earlier. He came in during the first quarter. I did not know that, but the 44th President of the United States of America is here.
Barack Obama
is in the house over to our right, supporting his classmate Dan Hale and seeing good basketball. One of probably the most basketball playing president. I haven't researched that, but certainly
he's got to be up there, if not the
Yeah.
most. Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty good at his NCAA bracket every year.
But again, he was among the rivals. Punahou and Iolani are big rivals here in the islands in Hawaii.
Yeah,
and
he played
rivals,
on this court.
yeah, rivals on the basketball court, rivals really in all areas. A friendly, fun rivalry, academically, athletically. I wonder if he had to pay.
No, he came in the
Did he walk in the back door?
came in, yeah, the side door. The ever side door. Oh. 34-20. Bosco over St. Louis. I did see St. John Bosco play St. Louis in a game a few years ago. It was a football game. It was at Aloha Stadium. I called my friend and said, hey, St. John Bosco's here to play in St. Louis. Let's go check it out. I wanted to see Josh Rosen, who was going to play at UCLA,
Right.
not to play for the Cardinals in the NFL. The thing about it was the third quarterback into the game for St. Louis was a sophomore named Tua Tagovailoa. And you could see with the sophomore lefty came into the game, whoa, he could make all the throws.
The ball just exploded off of his hand.
It looked different.
It looked as impressive with those receivers who some went on to play college, but they're running sharp routes and the ball's just popping into their hands all over the field. And he was a runner as well during those days. Shifty, strong, fast. Hasn't run so much now in the NFL. The results of hits and things tend to take its toll.
It was startling to see like that far hash, the sideline, all of the throws, and then the running. The third quarterback in, and it's a preseason game. You don't really have the roster. It's like, who is this guy? Wow. So people were asking me, hey, how was Josh Rosen? He was okay, but there's a guy. He's a sophomore.
And
I'm
still,
not saying
and still now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm a football scout by any stretch of the imagination, but you could tell. We're watching this one on the basketball court, and another sophomore, Brandon McCoy Jr., 24/7, probably has it right over ESPN. 24/7 has him as the second-ranked overall prospect in the sophomore class, the class of 2026. ESPN has him 5th, rated him a 5-star. He's got a ranking of 49. He's the second-ranked player in the state of California. It's a sophomore class, #1 point guard. Interestingly enough, I looked up, I'm like, wow, who is the top-ranked sophomore in the state of California? Elijah Arenas from Chatsworth High School. If that name sounds familiar to you, Coach Dean, it's because Isela Arenas, who is his older sister, was playing for Sierra Canyon in the girls' tournament. They are both, obviously, children of Gilbert Arenas, but he is the top-ranked sophomore.
Interesting. These ranking systems are also different, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to say this guy's better than this guy as far as their guard play, but Elijah Arenas is such a different guard than Brandon McCoy.
Wow.
Elijah Arenas, like his father, and a bit like Isela, his sister, really like to get shots up. They are scorers. They have scoring mentalities. If you didn't recognize their names, you would recognize their games and how similar they are.
Interesting.
McCoy is a much, I think, better athlete. That's probably one of his bigger attributes. You see how quickly he got off the floor, started the game with a rebound under the basket and a vert dunk. A vert two-hand dunk. No run-up, just caught it off the rebound and rose right up and punched it. So that athleticism is at an elite level. And when you're talking about the best players in the country and you're saying someone is an elite athlete, that really means something. And we've seen it on display, and I believe it now.
He is a 6'4", 175-pound sophomore. But look at the youth on this Bosco team. Cade Bonham, 6'6", he's a junior. LZ Harrington, 6'5", point guard, he's a junior. Jack Turner, we've seen him do a bunch of things out here. He's one of those seniors on the team. And Dominic Perfetti, he started, 6'7", he's just a sophomore. So these Braves are gonna be around challenging for everything in the CIF. The same can be said somewhat of the St. Louis Crusaders, who have won the last 2 state titles here in Hawaii. And after the first one 2 years ago, they reloaded and they did it again. And now they've got a lot of the same pieces. They will make a push. They are ranked 2nd to Marinol by the Honolulu Star Advertiser in the rugged Interscholastic League of Honolulu. That is also the league that the host Iolani Raiders play in. League play has not yet started.
Yeah, and again, just like the player rankings nationally, the state rankings, some you're trying to watch to see how good these teams are, who's better than who without actually playing each other. And the preseason is the preseason. I've always approached it that way as a coach, and I'm sure Dan Hill does the same. The preseason is time to work on things. This is not like college football where you need to maintain your record through every game and win every game throughout the season. Your goal is to be great when you hit ILH play or league play, and then be really great and peaking by the time you hit the state tournament. And this is a long stretch away. There'll be new rules this year in the ILH, in the Hawaii leagues. There'll be a shot clock, which St. Louis has to figure out how to work. Last season, they were very patient. They had the opportunity to pass it around a few times to look to find the best option. Usually that was Pupu Sepulona, but he wasn't always open on every pass. So they could wait. This year they can't. So they'll have to find a way to initiate offense earlier. The foul system's different. It's going to take some time to get used to this, and you want to optimize it if you're a coach going into your season and going into the postseason.
34-20, St. John Bosco over St. Louis. The winner plays Iolani on Wednesday night at 6:30 Hawaii time here in the lower gym. Turner traveling. A lot of traveling calls tonight, in this game in particular.
We'd like to credit the defense by the Crusaders staying in front, not getting shifted out of position with the first jab or the first move, sliding, which causes those travels, that hesitation and go.
Chris Coleman starting the second half for the Bosco Braves. Sepulona with it, gives it to Meacham. Knocked away. Turner, Coleman, he might have walked underneath, but gets fouled. Hopefully he's okay. Fell hard on his front side.
You're right, possibly another travel by Coleman. Caught it with the quick stutter, but drew the foul.
And then he got run over by Sepulona, who is also catching some eyes on the football field for St. Louis as a defensive end. Coleman might feel that one later on tonight. Posiuli to Meacham. Stolen away. Coleman misses, but the follow, guess who? Brandon McCoy Jr. He's got 16 points. Mostly from close range, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. The way that he gets his bucket seems quiet, if not for the dunks, because he just follows. He makes the easy play. It looks so easy.
And there's another one. Lob dunk from Cade Bonham.
Making it look easy. You can throw the ball just about anywhere in the vicinity of the rim, and he's going to go get it.
Meacham is knocked away from behind by McCoy. Makes an incredible save. Posiuli knocks. Coleman's getting knocked around a bit here. Looks like he's all right. Stone Kanoa and Jordan Nunuha check in for the Crusaders. Nunuha also a football player for St. Louis, 24 receptions this season, this past season, almost 20 yards per catch. Posiuli, strong move, but gets knocked back by Bonham, stolen away by McCoy. Brandon McCoy went with the Euro again and called for steps.
Who was there defensively? Shanson Revelto reading that same Euro step, the right to left. Slid in his way, forced the second travel on the same move. Just so heady. He's played that way his entire career, and it doesn't stop now.
Double clutch three almost goes for Sepulona. Gets the ball back, attacks the rim, has it blocked. Is that McCoy? Bonham. Strong move in the lane. Revelto comes away with it. Stolen from behind by Jack Turner. Lob to Harrington. Full timeout called by St. Louis coach Dan Hale. His team being doubled up 40-20 with 5:20 to go here in the third quarter. Game number 4, the Iolani Prep Basketball Classic, presented by Hawaii Pacific Health.
It's that physicality, that athleticism that just wears on a team. You can fight for so long, and at some point the fatigue kicks in. The same runs, the same bumps take less out of the more athletic team. And over the longer run, that team tends to flourish. They get more steals. There's more fouls called defensively on the more tired team. Getting back, going up to rebound, you see more of these offensive boards, the drives to the basket, the lazier passes, and that's what we're starting to see in these moments. It's not as though you can do anything else. I mean, they are fighting. St. Louis is fighting. That's what accounts for that great first quarter that they had. But again, it takes a lot of energy out of you to compete with that level of athleticism.
There's an errant pass. That's what you were talking about.
You've seen these players before. You've seen them play against Hawaii competition, and when they did, they were the best in the state. So when you start to see uncharacteristic things, happen by good players, a lot of times you chalk that up to fatigue, and that's what I'm saying it is here.
Bonham. Inbounds play with the dunk.
Beautiful screen and slit. Had Turner coming out. Beautiful block by Bonham. Sepulona usually gets into a body first. You see a shoulder to a chest, then a finish. That time went up with the right hand, his weaker hand. And Bonham went up and got it.
Velto. Stolen away from Posiulai. Ahead to Coleman. He'll lay it off to Bonham, who scores the bucket. Cade Bonham, 14 points for the 6'6" junior. Sepulona. Kuku gets it back. Drives the lane up and under.
That ability to contort his body and finish with the left hand, reaching, extending, so accurate.
Coleman's 3 off the mark, but McCoy with the rebound. McCoy into the lane, finds Coleman. Wow.
How many times do you see a guy that's ranked as the top 2 or a top 5 guard in his class attacking the offensive glass, finding ways to make hustle plays, right? You think guys like that are just all about dunks and they're hunting for him. He gets so many, he can do so many other things, showing that hustle.
And then after that, he was the point guy on the press. Rebound Coleman to McCoy. Lob. Oh my. Harrington. That corner to our right where Barack Obama is, they erupted, the Bosco fans.
It's back-to-back assists for McCoy. First on the back door and then the second on the alley-oop.
Sepulona has a shot blocked. Another lob. Turner gets the shot away. Fouled in the act of shooting. Jack will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Revelto's exhausted. You see him out there on the floor. The foul, again, smart enough to give up that foul and let himself rest, but he is tired out there.
I see McCoy with his hands toward his knees at the foul line, but man, I don't think he's come out. I think he's been doing everything. He's in really good shape.
Oh, he's attacking the glass. He's not just running down in transition looking for dunks or being lazy offensively or defensively for that matter.
And now as I say that, he and Coleman head to the bench. Slaps hands with all his teammates.
We see Vashon in blue walking out the gym door. They'll play tomorrow night. They got a shoot-around / practice in the upper gym, the alternate gym.
Vashon High School out of St. Louis, Missouri, making its first appearance in the Iolani Prep Basketball Classic. As are the St. John Bosco Braves. Sepulona in the lane. Pupu up to 15 points. Harrington, guarded by Stone Kanoa. Turner for 3, he can hit those, doesn't that time. Kanoa lays it off to Josiah Fetui.
Nice job in transition by the Crusaders. Kanoa attacked, was a threat to the basket, then found his teammate Fetui for the easy bucket.
Fight for the ball. Whistle. Foul on Bosco. Excuse me, foul on St. Louis. Stone Kanoa. Ball out of bounds to Bosco. That is Stone's 4th personal foul. 3rd team foul here in the 3rd quarter. Sepalona, good position and rebound. Velto almost got his pocket picked there by Meadows. Just relentless pressure.
Constant, especially for a player like Meadows. We saw him earlier in the game go on a little run just because of his defensive efforts. And for guys like that, it doesn't stop.
Turner feeds it over to Bonham. Three-pointer, Cade Bonham.
For the most part, Bosco hasn't shot it well from the outside. Turner, one of their better shooters, I don't believe has hit a three today, has taken quite a few.
He's come in hitting 60% from beyond the arc.
It's been Bonham who's knocked down a couple of threes. Harrington hasn't been accurate from outside. Those are shots they're gonna have to knock down as they move along and move through this tournament, facing the stiffer competition, the size and athleticism. You can't afford to be able to get to the, you can't get to the basket every single time, so they will have to knock some down.
Foul called. First team foul of the third quarter called on St. John Bosco. 1:18 to go here in the third quarter. Snap pass knocked away by Bonham. Gets it to Turner. Cross court. Back to Bonham. Pulls up. Wow, Perfetti. He had designs on being under the rim, reach back with that right arm. You want to slam that one home.
Thought he was Brandon McCoy there for a second.
Wow. And McCoy checks back in for Perfetti. Turner also heads to the bench.
We've mentioned this previously with these mainland teams. They've all traveled a significant distance to get here. Maybe Bosco the least among our grouping of mainland teams. We've had teams from Maryland and Missouri and New York City, Florida, Georgia. Bosco coming from the West Coast, but that's still 2,500 miles away, and they need to get acclimated. They need to get their legs under them, get their legs moving, knowing that they're gonna face better competition. They wanna get used to the gym, get used to the weather. Said it before, but an air-conditioned gym in the middle of winter maybe isn't that common a thing in other areas of the country.
Sepalona scores, cuts the lead to 53-28. Bosco with the ball, 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Brandon McCoy over to Meadows. They're playing catch, holding it for the last shot.
Crusaders in a zone, working the 2-3. Didn't play much of this last year, but starting to employ it, test it out in the preseason, see if this is something they can use with the shot clock coming into play.
Bonham tiptoes through the lane and scores.
Use that controlled Euro step. Has hit the threes, forced the defender to extend, went by and around a couple defenders.
Desperation heave, falls short. So after 3 quarters of play, St. John Bosco Braves, the number 9 team in the nation, lead the St. Louis Crusaders 55-28. Let's take a quick break. (55-28). John Tamanaha here with Coach Dean Shimamoto. Game number 4. The winner of this one moves on to play the Iolani Raiders, the host team here in the Iolani Prep Basketball Classic on Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. That'll be live and on demand on YouTube. all 32 games of this tournament, being carried by Iolani Live on the Iolani School YouTube account. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to Zach with the camera. Carter on the controls. Getting set for the final 8-minute frame here. Crusaders with it. Revelto, bounce pass taken away by Harrington. Up ahead to Turner. No dribble and lay-in.
This team so deadly in transition. One pass, efficient. Doesn't matter who the finisher is, they find their way to the rim.
And quickly. Revelto. It's taken away by Brandon McCoy. He loses the handle momentarily. Bonham driving through. Shanson Revelto thought better of taking the charge there. Smart. Look at Bonham. I know he's hitting the threes, but look at the frame on Kate Bonham.
Bonham is just productive, finds ways to get buckets.
Nice rebound and put back by Josiah Fatui. He's got 4 here in the second half.
Good minutes by Fatui. Finds a way to come off the bench. Got a put back in transition. Had a layup earlier.
Bosco fighting for all the loose balls. Brandon McCoy for 3. Just showing us he can do that as well. It's his first 3-pointer of the evening. He's got 21 points.
Finally got a look at that long-range stroke. Not good news from any people attempting to guard Brandon McCoy. So explosive to the hole, but can step out and knock down that 3.
Lob inside, finds Sepalona, and he scores. They go to the line for the 3-point play.
You mentioned it earlier, his production last year against what was the #2 team in the country and the #1 team in the country this season with nearly the same roster. Well, with the exception of adding Robert Wright III, who was the MVP of the Iolani Classic a year ago for Newman Goretti, the champions in 2022. He is now at Montverde, and they look unstoppable. Wow.
Turner. Jack Turner's got it again. Brings it into the corner to DJ Holt. .12 on the shot clock. Reeves being just about as deliberate as they have been all night. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Beyond the Bosco players getting a lot of minutes, these stars who are going to have to play a lot of minutes over the next few nights. Again, these teams are off tomorrow, so there is the luxury of rest. If you play tonight, you play extended minutes, you have a full day off. Basically, the way the tournament works is the first round of 8 games is split into 2 days. So we have 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow.
Corey Bailey is fouled. And he will go to the line. Foul called on DJ Holt. His second team foul of the 4th quarter. Bailey hits the first. Now I'm saying team fouls in quarters. That's a new rule.
That is a new rule. Switch from the general 7 foul 1-and-1, 10 foul double bonus that only reset at the half. It's now a 5 foul per quarter and directly into the double bonus that resets at the end of the quarter.
Revelto. This is from the elbow. Sepalona Heady play there, bounces it off a Brave.
Falls into Josh Benton, our Hawaii Pacific Health presenting sponsors marketing.
Up close and personal. Sepalona. He's got 21. Pupu likes playing against these highly ranked teams here in the Iolani Classic.
You see Sepalona and it really doesn't make sense. His height, his body, again, a better athlete than it would appear. He doesn't have this slim, slender, bouncy frame. So strong on the inside, but crafty enough to find ways to create contact, get finishes, and now he's adding some range to the jumper, knocking down free throws, can step out and hit the three.
And you look at him at St. Louis and you might think football player playing basketball, but it's actually opposite. He's a basketball player now playing some football and making some noise as a defensive end because of this athleticism.
And that confusion, I think, extends to these mainland opponents who have never seen a player like him. At 6'2", you're generally a guard, or if you're big on the inside, you're very undersized at the national level. And they don't know what to make of it. And on the inside, that length advantage is something that they rely on, but Pupu finds a way to negate that advantage, creating contact, extending the arms wide enough, using the backboard. Just every trick in the book seems to be in his offensive arsenal.
Bonham with the miss. So Sepalona, football in the fall, basketball in the winter, volleyball in the spring.
I believe they won a state championship in volleyball at the Division II level.
And he was the most outstanding player in the tournament. What can he not do?
Amazing.
Just a junior.
We saw a glimpse of the St. Louis man offense. Pieces of the triangle, they call that a pinch post. Hit the high post with that hard backdoor cut. You see that read. There's a few options on it. We haven't seen the triangle make its way into basketball TV really in the NBA. We saw a lot of it with the success of the Lakers and the Bulls. St. Louis Crusaders run it as a continuity, a continuous offense, just looking for options, and they've gotten really good at it over the years.
Bosco leading at 62-37, make it 64-37.
Harrington draws so much attention but has great vision as well on the money pass. That's why he's the 29th ranked guard on ESPN in the junior class.
Fernando, Rovelto. Shanson from 17. Rebound Harrington. .25 on the shot clock, knocked away, but regained by DJ Holt. Up ahead to Meacham. Good idea to hit the cutting Sepalona, but could not connect.
Exactly right, great idea. The windows are so small.
Yeah.
Between the outstretched arms of these Bosco defenders.
But is it a case, Coach, that you gotta go for those windows because what else is there? You
No,
know, there's a
especially
lot
with the shot clock.
yeah.
You have to be aggressive in certain parts and take some risks. Otherwise, you are at risk of taking a bad shot with the clock running down.
Follow attempt. Third chance. Fernando almost got it right over the front of that rim. But he'll go to the line to shoot a pair. It's interesting when you play against this sort of elite athleticism and length and cutting off the passing lane. Somebody might look at that and say, "Oh, don't do those risky passes." But there are no easy passes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some tough things. So if you want to score, you got to hit those windows.
Right, from a coaching standpoint, you're telling the kids you have to set them up. You have to be a threat to do something else, to open up the lane. So your understanding of the game and that awareness has to be at its highest level, almost to be tricky. You want to be deceptive in what you're doing, because if you have one option, I don't care how great the pass is, how great the shot is, a defender like these guys out here tonight for Bosco, they're going to take it away. You have to have multiple choices.
Sepulveda almost made contact with Coleman again, held up. Some crisp passing for Bosco, finds the open man for three, Jamar Taylor. Wow.
Final set of players in for Bosco. Always great to see when they get a chance. They're in Hawaii as well. This game is not just for the stars and the starters. Good execution.
Sepulveda works into a double team, but gets the shot up off the glass and scores.
My goodness. There has to be this look of bewilderment.
Yeah.
Or at least that feeling. Whether it's Montverde last year, who goes 6'10", 6'9", 6'7", 6'7", and these are not stiffs.
No.
These are high-level Division I, guys that are going to play at the next level professionally at some point. And even here today, I mean, these guys are playing against nationally rated teams of full Division I prospects. And somehow this guy, 6'2", lefty, finds a way to maneuver himself, split doubles, take a foul, get finishes, and score 20-plus points against hard defenses that are expecting him to do it after the first 10 or so, right?
Montverde Academy last year, St. John Bosco right now. Pupu Sepulveda averaging over 24 points against these sorts of teams. So now we got a minute 35 to go. St. John Bosco ahead by 25 points. So I turn to you, Coach. You've been in this position before. This classic was created, founded by Glenn Young 40 years ago, so that local teams can improve, can learn. The players, the coaches, even the officials. These are our top officials out here today, veteran officials, and then the fans to see it up close and personal. Josh across the way. You can't get any closer to high-level basketball, but from a coaching and player standpoint, how valuable is the learning of what St. Louis experienced last year against Montverde and right here against St. John?
Let me tell you, you talk about the Classics being started by Glenn Young in 1983, and the reason that the Classic was started was because they played against great competition from the East Coast, got blasted. They were a state champion, that team. Very similar to this St. Louis squad. So you think 40 years ago, this game would have been a 40 to 50 point game 40 years ago against a state champion, tremendous talent. You saw some of those teams play.
Yeah.
But that's how much the level has gone up. I mean, it could have been more, right? It could have been more than 50, 40 years ago. But there's been growth. We're not to the point of being able to maybe beat a team like Bosco. But guys like Pupu Sepulveda, the moments that this St. Louis team has had shows that there has been progress, and significant progress.
And there has been players like Mr. Derek Lowe, who I think is in the gym tonight, that made really great runs against top-level teams. JJ Mandaquit against Sierra Canyon, put on a show. Things are happening.
I'll tell you what's great about this. Not just the memories that this St. Louis team is going to have, having played against Montverde last year and against St. John Bosco this year, and Pupu Sepulveda for the performance that he's having. It's all these kids that are sitting across in the front row on camera across the benches that's seeing this performance, that want to play in this tournament, that now believe that they can compete at the highest level because other kids have done it themselves that they've seen with their own eyes. And there's so many stories from my own to people older than me and younger than me that talk about these stories. Like, I've been coming to the Iolani Classic since I was 7 years old, 10 years old. I remember sitting there and seeing ex-athlete. He went on to play for whoever. And these are 30, 40-year-old memories that are stuck in their head, making them love basketball, making them want to work out in the gym, pretend that they're going against the #1 team in the country, guys that are going to go to play in the NBA. And that's the special part of this whole thing, because it's not just the instantaneous success in these memories. It's the growth that's going to come out of all of this.
Absolutely. Max Ellis tried a 3. Fernando up to Meacham. Last 20 seconds of this game. One of the things, you know, you were talking about kind of the growth and how over the years, the thing that we saw, and I think Sepulona is special, but I think this goes for a lot of players, just the lack of fear, no trepidation, no hesitation. He was working against Montverde, he's working here tonight, but just that look in his eye. I think Miyamoto's like most of us, like, wow, what am I in for? But that look in his eye when he was a sophomore and tonight as a junior, and many other players too, over the years, when you come and you watch this, and like, you see somebody doing it, a local kid playing against a team, maybe not winning, but then over the years, like, hey, this is my turn.
Part of it, yeah, absolutely. Part of it is that belief. You can have the skill, you can have the ability, but you also got to have that belief. And sometimes seeing someone do it validates that belief that it's possible, or even being in the position to do it. Even if you've succeeded 1 out of 10 times, there is proof that you can succeed against guys at the highest level. And that's what these experiences are about. These are the memories that are not just going to help them move on and probably compete for another state title. These are memories that are going to push them to the next level, maybe in sports to college, and even push them beyond that, and maybe them pushing their own kids because they remember these moments.
Yeah.
Again, it has such a lasting effect.
And we see
being
Pupu
here.
Here headed toward midcourt, exchanging 5s and pats on the back with all of the St. John Bosco Braves.
St. John Bosco rocking the Kahala performance,
Yeah, look at
Aloha polos. Just looking sharp. I love that these teams are embracing it and coming and wearing it. We had it in Christ the King a second ago. Joe Arbatello, the coach, used to wearing pinstripes. He said he's going to wear them tomorrow because he feels completely uncomfortable, as uncomfortable as I or you would feel being in New York having to wear a suit at a game.
All right, looking forward to it.
We hope to see it.
St. John Bosco defeats St. Louis 69-47. Next up for them, the Iolani Raiders on Wednesday night in the quarterfinals at 6:30 p.m. The other 2 games played today. Pace Academy defeated Kamehameha School's Maui 78-27, and Christ the King defeated Kamehameha School's Kapalama 68-31. So Christ the King will take on Pace Academy on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Those are the middle games of the quarterfinals. And tomorrow, all on YouTube on the Iolani School channel at 3 o'clock, Kaimuki taking on the Masters Academy. The Mililani Trojans taking on DeMatha Catholic High School out of Hyattsville, Maryland. Moanalua will take on Vashon High School out of St. Louis, Missouri. And in the nightcap at 7:30 p.m. Hawaii time, the Mid-Pacific Institute Owls against Oak Ridge out of Florida. They have been here before. They are a high-level quality program, also nationally ranked by some. Looking forward to day 2, Coach Shimamoto.
Absolutely. I mean, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. I mean,
one at a time.
we get to see these teams and just envision how they'll be against better competition, or in the case of a team like St. Louis going up against local competition where they're not giving so much up athletically. to see how they're going to perform. It's interesting. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait.
And you know what's also exciting? You look over there to the left of your screen, Brandon McCoy Jr. signing autographs for the youngsters. Young Mr. Heenan over there, one of our ball wipers, asked me as I was heading up here to do this game, do you have a pen? And he didn't think I did. And I reached into my pocket, because this is what I do, handed him a pen. And the kid couldn't have been happier. And now they're out there collecting autographs from these players that really put on a show.
This is so amazing, right? He's 16 years old. Having to act like he's LeBron James in the gym, and this is this new generation of athlete. You're known. And it's great to see when they're genuine about it.
Yeah.
Not
it
just
really is.
already acting the role or being dismissive at this point. Because, they have so much impact.
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome.
Meeting these guys. My son talks about it over and over. I met so-and-so. Which guy did I meet? What school is he at now? Is he at somewhere else? Who's the guy? Who's the good guys? And so much a part of that experience. I mean, so memorable.
And it's not just the boys tournament. I saw your son overjoyed meeting the girls players,
Yeah.
especially the three-point shootout champion and all of them. That was a lot of fun.
I mean, that's the one we talk about. We talk about what this game would have been 40 years ago. There was no game 40 years ago for the girls.
Yeah, that started in
You know,
2007.
and again, 2007, and what growth we've seen. So dramatic in so many different ways, but man, what an impact this tournament has had on Hawaii basketball.
Absolutely, and we thank you for tuning in. But if you are on the island of Oahu or somewhere near, we implore you, make your way to the Iolani School class campus and the Father Bay Athletic Center.
Wait,
Come
let me,
here
Let me
into
say
the-
this quickly.
into the lower gym and watch this.
As
Go
great
ahead.
as John Tamanaha is and
Oh.
our commentary crew,
Okay.
it is better in person.
Yeah.
It is absolutely better in person. These guys, seeing them jump off the floor, it's a small gym. The intimate setting makes it that much better. This is not a big arena.
Yeah.
This is an 8-row gymnasium. The out of bounds is about 8 feet from the sideline, and if you're standing on the floor, you see how high they're jumping.
You know, when Sierra Canyon came here with Amari Bailey and Bronny James and all of those folks, they were playing in 17,000-seat arenas, the Target Center in Minneapolis, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. But there was no better place to watch them than the lower gym at the Father Bay Athletic Center because you were so close to that action. So come on down if you can. Tickets sold at the door. It's a lot of fun. If you can't make it, tune in to YouTube. But we pretty much do these games to kind of give you a taste of what it's like here locally and also provide a service for those who can't make it out here to Hawaii. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for Zach on the camera, Carter on the controls, Coach Shimamoto. For your expert commentary, I'm John Tamanaha signing off until tomorrow, day 2. Good night, everybody, and aloha.